siento por mirar, te dejo el corazón, te llevaré conmigo en todo momento.
Hey guys, good to have you back here. This is SAD Media. Thank you for logging on to my YouTube channel. So, a quick review on the last episode on Law of the Heart. If we have seen in the previous episode that Julia and Pablo, they're really trying to, the love was brewing then, I think now it is getting more intense. Like, I don't even understand what is happening. The feelings, the emotion, the passion, the love is just becoming hotter and hotter. Like, as they hot now, so we talk for Niger, as they hot. Anyway, that's by this side. Like, okay, she had gone to meet him or to inform him that she will be going to see Camilo, and they had a talk around that. So they're just talking on, okay, and I think she ended with like, okay, will you be waiting for me? Like, okay, in her mind, I feel she's feeling okay. Will Camilo be, will Pablo wait for me till I'm able to find herself? And she assures her that if he assures her that if she thinks he will be there waiting all time, no, it is not possible. But in between, bang bang, passionately kissed enter. Like, it was very passionate, and you can see that these are people who truly and really liked each other. So the epic part of the drama is really getting opened now. So the next thing was Mr. Marcos and Alfredo talking about the case of Alfredo's client and how possible solutions on how to find the lady, yes, who framed, yes, Raholi, who framed him up to have him commit murder doctor. So at least the solutions is provided so far. Alfredo is very in tune with it. I think he will do further investigations on that and come up with possible results and evidences for them. So the next thing is Pablo and Nick on the way to see Nick's father in the elderly home. Like, as Mr. Azola has reported that he's harassing the women there, they got to the home. He welcomes them. Like, the women there, they are so thrilled to actually see them. They're really thrilled to see them. So they're so happy. And even when he tried to touch one of the ladies, she didn't respond negatively. So Pablo, Nick gets to tell him the situation of things on ground and why he's there, and he is even shocked and wondered why Mr. Azola did not inform him instead of calling him out to his son. And they get to meet the women to ask, and guess what? They really like Mr. Samuel. They feel, oh, he has a great sense of humor, and they like the way he treats them. Like elderly women, they even feel like, oh, they like it so much that, of course, at those stages or at that stage, women sometimes need people to play around them, especially the opposite sex, to play around them and all of that. So they like his presence, they like everything he does to them. So he is not harassing them in any form. So even Pablo and them, Nick, they're a bit surprised, like, okay, and they feel okay. I think there was a miscommunication or envy among them, or with a woman who we see next is Camilo putting a call through to Julia, asking her to get some items for him that he would use for the hearing the next day. So they agreed to, she agrees to see him later in the evening. Actually, is Alberto calls Julia to tell her the police are in his apartment to evade him, like to formalize the rulings, yes, of his eviction out of his home. I think it's a very, very pathetic situation, like sending such a man out of his home because he wrote a will, and now all odds are against him. His family, they're against him. His sons and his wife, they're against him because he married a younger woman, and they think the best thing they could do to him is to get him out of the house. Surely Julia gets to meet him and try as much as possible to tell him to leave, that would be the best solution because they can never win the case. The judge has ruled against him, so the best option for him is to be out of there. So Pablo joined her eventually. They left the elderly people's place and he joined her eventually in the place. He tried to pacify or let Mr. Alberto know that he should leave, just let him know the reasons why he should leave. And in the midst of everything, he wasn't really feeling happy. He felt so bad that wasn't good, and he excused himself, and before you know it, he shot himself. Like, I'm sure that was a very, very sad moment. It was a really sad moment. Like, we could imagine such a situation. Pablo isn't in a happy mood at all. He's not in a happy mood on this. He's so broken. He's thinking about it. He feels an attorney comes to verify or to know what happens, and he's not ready to tell the sons or let them know. He just feels they are ungrateful, they are inhuman to have treated their father to that extent. So the next thing is Catalina is still unhappy. Like, she's been unhappy for some days because of Gabriel. She thinks about Gabriel, and I don't understand what the situation is. Then Maria walks into her office, sees her in that condition, and advises her on the reason why she has to pick herself up and move on with her life, that she doesn't really need to continue like that. So in the process, so she invited her for dinner, a party, an evening party and dinner, that she should come, she should go drink and dance, and then she forgets some of the things that are really wearing her down. The way they see Alfredo, yes, at the reception, and guess you know how she feels when she see Alfredo, like she wants to melt. I don't understand that kind of feeling. I used to like it before now, but I think she's over, I don't know, it's her role. I think she's overdoing it. But I can imagine that such feelings. Eventually they get into the elevator together, and Alfredo asks of her boyfriend, like, oh. And she said, well, what would she even say? Because Alfredo saw the last, when Gabriel came to pick her, when she had a date with Gabriel, when he came to pick her, so he saw them at the ground floor. So she's like, okay, he's amazing, he's fine. So they get into the party. She's still talking all over about what happened, how it happened, blah, what shouldn't have happened. And then trust Maria de Parla, she's like, now her big sis in the office, she's really telling her or letting her know the reason why she has to move on. If anything happens between her and Gabriel, because she wanted it to happen. So it's time for her to wake up, have a feel and a fun of her life, and move on for good. So calls Roberto, and he informs him that he wouldn't be able to get the items for Camilo any longer because there is an emergency or a case where she has to which has taken her attention. And so that being said, Camilo told her not to worry, he will get the items for Roberto told her not to worry, that he will get the items for Camilo. So like, okay, as I already said, Kata and Maria, they're having a real girls conversation, like real girls, big girl to sister conversation on what and what should be done. So in the same place, Elias visits Isabel unannounced, asked for her forgiveness, try as much as possible to let her know he loves her so much, and whatever has happened, even at the restaurant of late, was as a result of jealousy. He felt, of course, Isabel had to remind him that no matter what it is, he doesn't have control over her for no reason, and he shouldn't feel she is like him. So he ended up with him still begging, asking for her forgiveness. So that's how that scene ended eventually. And Pablo gets to leave the scene. They get to leave Alberto's house with Julia, and Julia, because of the situation, follows him home. So Camilo and Roberto are talking. Camilo is not pleased that Julia refused to come and see him. He's wondering the reason why she is not seeing him. And you know, guys talk, man to man talk, friend to friend talk. So Roberto is really advising him to chill a bit and then just concentrate on the fact that he's still in a prison, he's the victim, and just chill till everything is sorted. So Julia follows Pablo home. So they're cooking, they're having conversation, they're having just normal random talk about everything. Pablo leaves the phone on voice, like he releases the phone from voice call to hear the messages he had, and one of the messages was Nick asking him about Julia. The way he ran to the phone when he saw Nick asking of Julia. Anyway, it happened. So they're cooking, they're talking about so many things, and then they're sharing good moments. She's about to go out and use the restroom, and guess what, she sees her hairband. If you can recall, in one of the episodes where and she's surprised that why does Pablo have her hairband in his home. So now they're eating, the food is delicious like they said. And it reminds her of how he tells her of how he got the hairband, and then reminds her that even on that day he had a wish, that the wish was okay if he could be the owner of this pretty girl. And guess what, right, she is here at the moment. She's right here with him. So the hairband was his luck, or is his charm. Hey, I just wonder what Camilo would do when he gets out of the prison. Now he's also really telling Roberto how much he loves Julia. So Julia definitely will be the one to decide in the long run. So we look forward to subsequent episode on Lord of the Heart and how this would definitely unveil. It was a beautiful time out here watching and saying it again. Please guys, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe. I just want to let you know I love you so much. And then if you have comment, feedback for me, kindly put it in the comment section. I would let you if you have feedback, comment for me, kindly put it in the comment section. And if you're also an ardent follower or someone who watched this, kindly let us know some of the highlights we would have missed. Yes, until I come your way again in the next episode, I remain Ese Idemudia. Bye.